The first time my husband hit me, I was 6 months pregnant and his mother was standing 3 feet away watching. She didn't scream, she didn't try to stop him. She nodded. My name is Sarah. I'm 36 years old and I used to believe I had the kind of life people envied. I was a high school teacher in Portland. I had a warm little house with a porch swing. I had a stable marriage. I had a baby girl growing inside me, a miracle we had prayed for. What I didn't know was that the man sleeping beside me every night was waiting for the right moment to show me who he really was. And what I didn't know was that the words spoken by one nurse in a hospital room would be the reason my daughter and I are alive today. Marcus and I moved fast, too fast. We met at a conference. He was charming in that polished, attentive way that feels intoxicating at first. He remembered details about my childhood. He sent flowers to my classroom. He texted constantly, just checking on you, miss you already, where are you now? At the time, it felt romantic. Now I know it was surveillance dressed up as devotion. After we got married, the questions became constant. Who are you with? Why didn't you answer? Why were you 5 minutes late? If I didn't respond fast enough, he'd call. If I didn't pick up, he'd show up. He said he worried. I told myself I was lucky to be loved that much. Love doesn't feel like a leash. When I got pregnant, everything intensified. He criticized my weight, policed my food. Complained when I was tired. You're milking this pregnancy, he said once. I laughed it off. Oh, how many red flags did I fold into origami excuses? His mother, Barbara, made it worse, cold from the beginning, dismissive, sharp-tongued. When she announced she was coming to help before the baby arrived, my stomach twisted, but Marcus insisted. She knows best, he said. Barbara arrived with opinions packed heavier than her suitcase. The house wasn't clean enough. The nursery colors were tacky. I looked bloated. Marcus agreed with her. Every time, each agreement felt like a small erasure. On Thursday afternoon, I came home from school and found the nursery rearranged. My decorations replaced, the crib moved, the room I had built with love rewritten. I stood there, one hand on my belly, and said very calmly, Barbara, I appreciate the help, but I want it the way I had it. Her face hardened. You don't know what you're doing, she snapped. And then she started yelling about disrespect, about my incompetence, about how Marcus deserved better. I was crying when Marcus walked in. I remember the relief. Oh, thank God, I thought. He'll fix this? He didn't ask what happened. He didn't look at me. He looked at his mother, and then he looked at me with something I had never seen before, hatred. How dare you disrespect my mother, he said. He grabbed my arm hard. I whispered, you're hurting me. He shoved me. I fell, pregnant. I hit the floor and curled instinctively around my belly, and then he kicked me, again and again. I remember screaming. Please think about the baby. I remember Barbara's voice in the background saying I had brought this on myself. I remember the warm, horrifying wetness between my legs, blood, so much blood, I thought my daughter was dying inside me. The sirens came because my neighbor heard me screaming. Marcus switched roles instantly, concerned husband. She fell, he told the paramedics. In the ambulance, I kept asking, is she alive? They wouldn't answer directly. At the hospital, I kept repeating the lie. I tripped. Marcus stood in the corner watching me, watching to make sure I stayed silent. Then Jennifer walked in, mid-40s, calm, steady eyes. She examined my bruises. The finger marks on my arm, the patterned swelling on my back. She looked at Marcus. And she said very evenly, Sir, hospital policy requires us to photograph injuries on pregnant patients. Those images are automatically forwarded to our domestic violence task force and local police. The process has already been triggered. The room went silent. I watched Marcus freeze, the color drained from his face. Oh. That was the moment. Jennifer had cornered him without touching him. Then she turned to me. These injuries don't look like a fall, she said gently. I need you to tell me what really happened. I couldn't not with him there. She nodded as if she understood everything without me saying it. Sir, I need you to wait outside. He left. The door closed and I broke. He beat me, I sobbed. Security came. Police came. Marcus was arrested in the waiting room. Barbara, in her arrogance, admitted he hit me, said I deserved it. That statement sealed his fate. My contractions were stopped. My daughter survived. That nurse's words saved us. Later, Jennifer told me something. The photos weren't automatically sent, not instantly, not like she made it sound. She exaggerated. She needed him to believe he was already caught. She needed to break his control, and it worked. Marcus pled guilty to felony domestic violence against a pregnant woman. He went to prison. I moved back in with my parents at 36 years old, pregnant, bruised, shattered. I grieved the illusion. I grieved the life I thought I had. My daughter was born 2 weeks early, healthy, screaming, alive. I named her Grace because grace is what saved us. The grace of a neighbor who called 911, the grace of a nurse who outsmarted a monster. The grace of strangers who believed me. The nightmares lasted months. The anger still lives in my bones some days, but my daughter is 4 now. She laughs loudly, she sleeps peacefully. She has never seen violence in her home. And that is my victory. If you are watching this and you are in danger, listen to me. It is not your fault. You cannot love someone into not being abusive. You cannot behave perfectly enough to stop violence. Abuse is a choice. Leaving is terrifying. Staying is more dangerous. If you need help in the United States, call or text 988 for immediate crisis support, or reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-700-99-SAFE 7233 or thehotline.org. If you're outside the U.S., search for domestic violence support in your country. There are resources worldwide. You are not alone, and to every nurse, doctor, teacher, friend, your words matter, your courage matters. You might be someone's Jennifer. If this story touched something inside you, if it gave you hope or courage or the strength to take one step toward safety, then stay with Whispers of MAE. God bless.